and welcome to week 3. Let's have a look at this week's activities. So first I shall share my screen with you. Maybe, there we go. And here we are with our shell in week 3. So January 24 to 24, 26, 28. And as you know, everything needs to be submitted by Sunday at midnight, which would have you January 30th. We've got it broken up into, there's actually 4 drop boxes you'll see at the end of this week. We have Myers-Briggs reflection questions from the activity that you did last week. You will definitely be wanting to have these all go into your personal portfolio this week as well. So then we're going to work with the Personal Me Portfolio Me puzzle. There's more background with it there in the PowerPoint lesson. So as we open this up, make a copy of this document, save it in your personal portfolio file in your Google Drive. Yeah. Complete the Me puzzle, title it Personal Portfolio, the Me puzzle, and please put your name. It's super handy to have that at the top, and save it as a PDF before you submit it. Turn it in using the submission box below. Only the Me puzzle. I don't need the whole portfolio yet. We will be needing that. Looks like at the end of next week, I think. So Me puzzle is a different way of exploring your personality, and it focuses on certain aspects. For each of these aspects, I'm going to be wanting you. Oh my goodness, that was terrible English. I'm going to be wanting you to answer these 4 questions. What is a strength for me in this area? How do I see this strength benefiting me in the future, both personally and professionally? What kind of challenges does strength create for me? Or this strength create for me? In other words, what is the downside of this one? And how will I overcome this downside? So we have the intellectual me. These are things that you know, common sense, skills you have, critical thinking, reasoning, problem solving. The moral me. That's your personal character, your ethics and values, choices, decisions, reactions. You can go through all those on your own time, I'm sure. But those are the main pieces. We've got those 9? Yeah, just the 9 sections. And then this assignment, what you're going to do is think about the strength, the future, challenge, and how you will overcome it. So I've put in an example. So for an intellectual me, when I look at what I know, common sense, skills, things like that, I use critical thinking and common sense when I have a problem. I'm very good at problem solving, and I like to reason things out. In the future, I see myself continuing to grow in knowledge about myself, others, and the world around me. I want to have a career that I find intellectually rewarding. Challenge. Sometimes I lack patience when people do things that don't make sense or rudely impose on other people's time when I think they should have figured it out themselves. I can come across thinking right and wrong are the only answers, and mine is right. Sometimes I can come across like that, I think. Overcome. I need to practice asking more questions about why people do what they do. I learn to accept that others might see things differently than I do and not let that upset me. So that's an example. Since you will have copied this, then you'll have these sections to fill in. When you're questioning about strength, the future, challenge, and overcome, go back to the chart and have a look at those. Okay, that's that one. We've got PowerPoint on the importance of core values. This is Wednesday's major target. We have the assignment, and we have an example. So let's have a look. So this is the link where you're going to need to do some self-evaluation with it. First off, all you need to do is select at least 10 values from the list. You can have more, no problem. There's quite a list. And all you need to do is click on them, whichever ones you think are something that you think is of value to you. then it will give you, it will sort that down to the 5 most ones for you. That's another link to that same link that you have in the other spot. Or at least it should be. It should work well there. If it doesn't, you have the other one. So no problem. So use your core values from the core values assessment to answer the following questions. At least 4 complete sentences, capitalization, grammar, punctuation, those things count. It's a professional atmosphere. And answer the 4 questions within each question. So when you did the core values assessment, how did you decide which one of the values was more important to you than the other? Because you'll see what I mean by that when you do the assessment. Explain your thinking about how you decided which one ranked higher than the other. So those are your questions. For number 4, do answer this question or this question, not both of them. Save that personal portfolio, core values. Here's an example. So to see how with each one that I came across, I thought to myself, which one would I rather have as a human being? And chose from there. So the person has explained their way of thinking, how they reasoned it out. And they have answers for each that are about, or at least 4 sentences, but sometimes more. Friday, instead of just a work day, we have things that we need to work on. These will also be going into your personal portfolio. This one is about the professional I want to be. Again, make a copy of this document, save it in your personal portfolio file, title it Personal Portfolio, the professional I want to be, and your name. Save it as a PDF. Similarly, so this assignment has 3 parts: your personal story, your mentors, and your future self. You'll be 3 to 4 sentences double spaced. Now, if that's not clear enough, and I imagine it's probably not, you're going to want to have a look at the PowerPoint and see what it has to say. As soon as it opens. Okay, Wi-Fi is not super fast. Okay. So this will break it down farther, the personal story, mentors, and future self. Focus on 2 or 3 things, values, beliefs, etc., that you feel define who you are. Provide a brief anecdote or example that explains that. Who your mentors are. People who have provided you with nurturing support or guidance toward your professional goals. Your mentors could be somebody you know, but it doesn't have to be. It could be others that you know of that they've somehow had a positive impact on you. Your future self. Imagine yourself in your field. What are you like as a professional? What is your work ethic? What are your standards? What are your interpersonal skills like? How about organization? All those sorts of deals. This one's answer the questions in story form. I'm asking for, rather than that, let's not do that. Let's just do answering those questions, those reflection questions that you found right here. That's the part that I want. You could make it a story if that's more comfortable for you as well. No problem. Here's an example. I love it when we can have examples. That's so good. So there's the personal story, a bit about the mentors, and the future self. That is essentially what I'm looking for that one. So this week, Myers-Briggs reflection, the me puzzle, your core values, and the professional you want to be. And that is that. I guess if you have any questions, please feel free to drop on in. I will be having my ears on and I'd love to visit with you. Talk to you later.